Alright then gang, so at the minute we have this sign up form and also the login one, but if we try to submit these forms, all it's doing is logging the details to the console. What we want to do is hit that API endpoint on the back end of our application, which is going to sign that user up using these details right here. So we're going to create a custom hook in our React application to handle all of that logic. Alright then, so we have this sign up component right here, and when we click on this button at the bottom to submit the form, right here is where we console.log the email and password. Now, ultimately, we want to send that post request to the server to handle that sign up. So we could put all the logic here, but we are going to create that custom hook to do all of that logic and then just use that hook in this component. So not inside pages, we want to go inside hooks and create a new file called useSignup.js. And then inside here, I need to import a couple of things first of all. So I'm going to paste those in. We import useState from React since we need some local state, and also use Auth context, and that's from use Auth context because it's also a hook inside this folder. So it's this one right here, and that returns us the context with the user property and also the dispatch function. So ultimately what we're going to do is sign up inside this hook. We're going to send that request, get a response back. Now, if it's successful and the user is logged in, then I also want to update that auth context to say, look, we have the current user now, and I can update that user property. If we open up the context, auth context, this thing right here with the user's email. So we have that available in our application. So let's start this hook. I'm going to say const, and in fact, I'm going to export this as well so we can use it in another file. Export const use signup. And we set that equal to a function, like so. Now in here, I'm going to have a few pieces of state. And again, I'm just going to paste those in to save me typing them out. So we have a piece of state for an error, if there is an error with the sign up request, and also a set error function to change it, null to begin with. And then also a bit of state for is loading, and set is loading to change that as well, which is null to begin with. Now, this is loading piece of state is going to be true when we start the request. So if you wanted some kind of loading state or disabled state on your button in the form, when we start to send that request, we can use this piece of state. So let us now create a function inside here called signup. So const signup is equal to a function, and it's going to be an async function. And inside this function, we're taking the email and password that the user wants to sign up with. All right. So what do we want to do inside here? Well, first of all, we want to set is loading to be true. So set is loading, and that's going to be true because we're just starting the request. And also we're going to reset the error to be null every time we make a sign up request, because imagine this. I know it's null to begin with, but then we might make a request to sign up and there might be some kind of error, and we set the error. Then when we make a subsequent request, if we try to correct those errors, at the start of that request, we want to reset the error to be null because we don't want to always show the error if they try to rectify it. So we reset it at the start. All right, and now we need to make that post request. So const, we get a response and we set it equal to await, and we're using the fetch API. And inside here, the endpoint is going to be /API /user/signup. Now, by the way, I'm not using localhost port 4000 right here because if you take a look inside the package.json, we use this proxy right here. So if I just use / like this, it's going to proxy it to localhost port 4000. And that also gets rid of any kind of cause error as well. All right, so we have this fetch request right here, but it is a post request. So we need to pass in some options, and we need to say that the method is going to be post. And also we need to pass in some headers. So headers, and the headers in this case is going to be the content -type, which will be set to application /JSON. So that's the type of data we're sending with the request. And the data itself is on the body property. And we want to pass in the email and password as an object, but in JSON format. So we say JSON.stringify to turn it into a JSON string, and then pass in an object with the email and password like so. So that is the request right here. So then when we get a response, in order to get the JSON data, we have to use response.json, a method called JSON on this, and that is an asynchronous method. So we say const JSON is equal to response.json. Now remember, by the way, we need a wait here because it's asynchronous, this thing. This is either going to return to us some information with the JSON web token if it was a success, but if it wasn't a success, then it's going to send us back an error message instead. Okay? Now, this response has an OK property as well, and if we send back an error status code like 400, then OK is going to be false. So we can check for that. We can say if not response.OK. So if it's not OK, if there's a problem, then what we want to do is set is loading to be false, because now we're no longer loading, and then also set the error to be the JSON.error, because we get an error property back when there is an error. Okay? Now then, if the response is OK, so if response.OK, then what we want to do is three things basically. We want to update the auth context with the user email that we get back. So we're storing the email in this user property. So we need to use a dispatch, and the action is going to be login. And we also need to update the loading state to be false again because we've finished. And also, I want to take the JSON web token that we get back, and I want to store that somewhere in the browser, so that if the user closes the browser and opens the browser back up again and goes onto our website, they still have that JSON web token in the browser stored for that user. So they're logged in still. And the way we're going to do that is by saving it to local storage. So let me do a comment first of all to say save the user to local storage. And it's just going to be the JSON web token and the email property, remember. So this whole JSON object. So I'll say local storage dot set item. This is how we set a new item. I'm going to call the item user, and it's going to be JSON dot stringify, and then the JSON response we get back here, which is actually an object. So we're restringifying it into JSON again because we have to store strings inside local storage. So now we have a JSON version of that object, and on it we have the JSON web token that we get sent back, and also the email property. Because remember, if we go to the back end over here, inside the controllers, user controller, right here for sign up user, we send back the email and the token. So we're storing both of those in local storage. So that's the first thing we want to do. The next thing we want to do is update the auth context. Now for this, we're going to use the use auth context hook right here. So let me grab that, and I'm going to say const, and we want the dispatch function from this. So we set that equal to use auth context. So we grab that dispatch function, and we need to dispatch now some kind of action. So let's do that. We say dispatch. The type of the action is going to be login, so that the login case fires right here, and the payload, the action payload, is going to be basically the user we get back. So it's going to be this JSON right here, or it could be the JSON email. It doesn't really matter. So let's say the payload is just the JSON. Oops, not in capitals. So we'll say payload is the JSON that we get back. And then finally, we want to set is loading to be false again. All right, and that's pretty much it. We do need to return this function at the bottom so that we can grab it from this hook. So let's do that right here, return, and it's going to be the sign up function, but also we want to return is loading and also the error, just in case there is one. So we can grab all of these three things from this hook. All right, cool. So that is the hook pretty much done. Now we can go ahead and use it inside the sign up component. All right then, so first of all, inside this component, I want to import that useSignup hook. All right. And then we want to invoke that and grab those three things from it. So we say const, we want the sign up function, we want the error if there is one, and also is loading. And we set that equal to use sign up, like so. So we have access to these three things. Now down here, instead of logging the information to the console, we want to await the sign up function. And we pass in the email and password, which are being stored in our state. So whatever a user types into this form. And that's all there is to it right there, but we can also use error and is loading. So what I'll do is output the error at the bottom if there is one. So I'll say error, and then double ampersand, and then I'm going to do a div, and that's also going to have a class name equal to error for styling purposes. And then inside here, we'll pass the error like so. So that's the error. And also I want the button to be disabled if is loading right here is true, because if is loading is true, a request is going on. We don't want to send another one right away. So I'll say disabled is equal to is loading. And that's pretty much it. That's all we need to do for now. So now let's save this, cross our fingers, and see if this works. So then what I want to do now is just quickly refresh. I'm going to try signing up with someone that already exists. So Yoshi at netninja.dev. And then I'm going to do the password as ABC, capitals, lower, ABC, 1, 2, 3, and exclamation. So the password is correct. The email is correct. They already are signed up, so we should get an error. So sign up, and we can see email already in use. All right, so let's try someone who's not been signed up yet. So I'm going to say Toad at netninja.dev, and then for the password, I'll just say ABC. Sign up, password not strong enough, awesome. So we'll say ABC upper, ABC lower, 1, 2, 3, and exclamation, sign up. And now you can see this auth context state changed because we did that dispatch, and now the user is right here, and we have this email property on it and also the token. Now also, because when we refresh, this token isn't going to be in the application because the state kind of resets and starts as null, but we saved it to local storage. So if we go to application and local storage, we can also see this user property over here, and we see the JSON string with the email and the token in local storage as well. Now if we refresh, that's still going to be here, so we can grab it from local storage, even though in the console the auth context state is now null. We will address this issue later on as well, whereby when we first load the page, we look to see if we have this token over here, and if we do, we update the local state. But for now, this is null, but we know the user is still technically logged in because we have this user thing right over here with the web token. Alright, so that is the useSignup hook done. Next, we're going to do it for logging in as well. We're going to create a custom hook to log users in.